Hi everyone, Woody from Fools Rush In for the Fools Rush In Bakeoff Challenge. I wasn't going to make it originally. I left it really late, as I typically do on a Sunday night, so happy Father's Day to everybody. I am going to be making tonight some flapjack Bakeoff things. So what do we need for flapjack Bakeoff? So I've gone for the pantry golden syrup, which we're going to need roughly about 150 grams of that, but I've not put it into a container. And then we have about 200 grams of caster sugar, some unsalted butter, which I haven't cut yet, some almonds, you could probably get away with about 100 grams of these, along with cranberries, sultanas, and porridge oats. Now you can get porridge oats that might be the famous guy who looks like a farmer. I've settled for the Asda Just range. So this is what we are going to be cooking with later, and what I will do is I will try and film as much as I possibly can along the way. As you can see, housed and prepared perfectly in some containers that have once contained things like shredded chili beef, noodles, and possibly lemon chicken. Right, so they're the ingredients. Now I've put the butter, just about to put the caster sugar, and then I need to reset the old scales, and then I need 150 grams of golden syrup, because obviously I care about my health, and that's what I'm going to be doing going forward. So here we go, scale set, kinda, steady, and we're up. So there is a little trick with baking or making any flapjacks, and that generally is knowing what you're doing in the first place. So I've mixed the butter, I've mixed the custard sugar, and I've mixed the golden syrup in. I'll come back in just 2 seconds when I will put it on the hob. So I think a common misconception with the fact that I allegedly live in Millionaire's Row is the fact that I'm going to have an absolutely huge kitchen. What a load of rubbish. And the reason I say that is because I've just turned the hob on, which is there. The sink is literally there, and the fridge is no more than 2 steps that way. The tiniest kitchen in the world. I think when we lived in a 2-bed flat, council flat of all things, the kitchen was a lot bigger then. So I've just put the butter, caster sugar, and golden syrup on to boil. The golden syrup is already making some worrying noises, so I better attend to that. So you'll see absolute rookie error on my part. I didn't cut the butter up very finely, so naturally the golden syrup and all of that is probably going a lot quicker than the trusted butter. But as you can see, it's coming into a nice little mixture there. Well, there's not much I can say about this really at the moment. So whilst the mixture is coming just towards the end of what I need to do before I start adding some of the other ingredients. Where did I learn this lovely recipe from? My dad, actually. My dad's more of a baker and a cooker than I am. However, I decided that I wanted to try this, and I have actually cooked this before, so you could call it baked it, should I say. I have actually baked it before, so you could say I'm cheating, but needless to say, we're probably only going to get about 5 entries anyway, so there's at least 7 people, maybe even more, 9 people now in the Fools Rush In group that aren't doing anything. So next up, so I've taken it off the heat for just a minute, just to stop it from carrying on whilst I'm doing it. That's the problem with gas. I love gas cooking because it is one of the better, but it does mean that every now and then you often have to take things off pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck the almonds in there. Yeah, a couple of almonds in there. Now the original recipe had nuts, I think, toasted nuts, but I think I've never done them. I chucked the sultanas in there, lovely job. And I've just realised I've not opened the cranberries, so whilst holding my phone, I'm also going to cut open the cranberries. Somebody once told me that flapjacks were pretty good for you. There's a lot of dried fruit going in here, high levels of sugar. And then, but I'm sure it's all energy producing, and for an athlete like myself, this goes down pretty well when had it. Now this recipe will make about 16 shapes, so to speak, or squares, or whatever you want to call them, 16 portions. I'm gonna have to put the phone down because I'm struggling. So I've kind of moved you to the other side of my rather small kitchen. I'm giving this trying to give it a good stir. I am worried that I haven't probably done enough the other stuff in it. It does get quite difficult to stir. I wish at this point we could be doing some sort of Nigella sexual connotation here, but unfortunately all I'm doing is finding myself frustrated that the oats are combining together a little bit too quickly. Well, normally when you have cooking shows and baking shows and all of that kind of stuff, I do like a bit of Sunday Night Kitchen. They talk about what's the latest book that's coming out, what's coming up for that person. I have nothing exciting like that. All I have is, well, a new club on the horizon for me, which I'm sure more news will come out eventually. Right, we're giving that a good stir, so to speak. Let me switch the camera. So if you've done a half decent job, it should look a little bit something like that. Welcome back. So next up, the mixture is pretty much ready to go. So what I need to do is I now need to get my pre-aligned baking trays. I've actually got two. Now you could have one big one, up to you. I can't remember why I had two. I think when I originally did this recipe, they didn't have the right sizing, so I bought two of the same size. Little trick, which I didn't do on one of these, to get the grease line bacon proof paper, or whatever you want to call it, scrunch it up and it helps you get it neatly. Well, I say neatly, there is absolutely nothing fucking neat about this whatsoever. But what I need to do now is I need to get my pan full of mixture, and I need to just put that in relatively level with this thing. Now, I don't have any hints and tips about dividing it. Kind of just go 1 spoon in one, or 3 spoons, or whatever. Oh, some of it's stuck to the bottom of the pan. That's going to be a bit of an issue. So meanwhile, the oven is currently ticking away, preparing at 160 degrees, I think. So using a fish slice, I have completed the flapjack squares. What I am going to do now is turn into our oven. In one goes, and then I'm going to try and make it. So they're now in the oven. I'll probably leave them in for about 20 minutes, give them a quick check. Probably realistically going to need 30 minutes, but let's have a look in about 30 minutes time. In the meantime, I am going to enjoy Thatcher's Blood Orange whilst watching the end of Soccer Aid. See you soon. So Alexa has told me that these should be ready with the old timer. Yes, look at them bad boys. That is good. So I will put them up there now. And the trick is I'm going to cut them into 16 now, and then they will be probably good to go tomorrow now, because I need time to cool, because it's actually 10 o'clock at night. So probably having this before going to bed probably won't be a good idea anyway. So I will try and catch this on a video tomorrow for the ultimate taste test. See you in the morning. So I thought I'd have a quick check of these before I actually head off to bed. They are pretty much done. Well, as you can see, pretty nice and gooey, good stuff. That's what I like to see. I might see if I can get one of the kids to try one that's still awake. I think only Malik's still awake, but I will try it myself. So unfortunately I couldn't get a willing volunteer to either wake up and try one of these flapjacks, or wanted to appear on camera in the first place. So I'm going to go with one myself. They're still relatively warm, still a little bit gooey. They will harden overnight. Let's have a go. Oh, it's just going to be like one of those like really annoying TikTok videos. Was it dinner with Ryan and things like that? I did it myself over lockdown, not going to lie. Let's have a look. Talking of lockdown, what's going on with the air? That is proper lockdown. That is good. Now, I'm not the most creative, but over to you, fools.